Okay, sir. Coming to this primary making, the making the iron in the electric furnace as well as basic oxygen furnace. Here the second primary steel making after the step one making the iron in the molten form and the blast furnace. The second step of steel making manufacturing process can be completed with two different pieces of equipment. One is in the basic oxygen procedure or in the electrical. Either of the after the blast furnace breaking the iron, it will go to the oxygen furnace or in the electric furnace. Directly the molten from the blast furnace, it will go to the basic oxygen, whereas in the electric arc furnace only the raw material is only recycled steel, because it is not necessary to again the purifying or the removing of the impurities and all this thing. Recycled steel means is already product made. Wherever the some remains in the product, that will be added as recycled steel in the electric arc furnace. So the second step is both the any of the basic oxygen furnace or in the electrical furnace should be used. With basic oxygen furnace, the molten metal produces in step one is infused with the scrap material. What is the metal coming from the blast furnace is infused with the scrap material. Again, it is mixed with this. Then oxygen is forced through the furnace to remove the impurities and the molten iron. Wherein this one will be oxygen will be basic oxygen furnace. It will be removed the after the recycle and the molten form mixed together, sending the oxygen, remove the impurities. Whereas and in the molten art, what are the impurities in the molten art form? By sending the oxygen, it will be removed the oxygen from the iron, molten iron. Whereas with an electric arc furnace, as the name suggests that electricity is forced through the furnace to purify the iron, the completion step of 2 results in raw steel. Where in the electrolysis method, where we can say in this electrodes will work, where the impurities in one electrode, then main steel or raw steel will come in the another electrode. Therefore, it will be coming as a raw steel in the electric arc furnace itself. Result 2. So result 2 means direct results in raw steel is come. Whereas secondary making here is just like that, there are different grades of families and stainless steel. There are also different types of regular steel also is there. Because you know that SS316, SS304, SS316L, like this different stainless steel grades are there. As you all know, in the metallurgical process, the different grades of the are determined by the elements that remain in metal at the completion of the manufacture process. Because the molybdenum percentage, nickel percentage, all these things will be taken care of the rust and corrosion depending upon the SS304 less important, SS316 much more important, SS316 is L is much more important, because the adding of the steel to the molybdenum, nickel, all these things additives will be gives the stainless steel grades. Secondary steel making refines the composition of the steel to create the desired grade. That's what the secondary steel. Here the steel is coming okay, but we want stainless steel. We want to add some materials like grades and families of stainless steel. If we want to prepare in the secondary steel making, we have to add that iron, which is coming in the step 2, that will be added in the secondary steel making, and additives will be in the form of the desired grades. As we want SS304, what is the composition of the SS304? Accordingly, we have to add the additive materials, fluxes we called as the secondary steel. This is done with the different techniques such as stirring and ladle injections. This is stirring, you know, that what is called simply giving the vibrations and all these things, or the agitators will be taken care of. But lateral injection is very important to know what is lateral injection also, because at this time I have to inform you what is the lateral injection also. Otherwise, we will not be going any idea about this what is the lateral injection also. That's why we want to project some highlights in the lateral injection, which is very important in the steel making process also. That's why I'm giving even though the some slides are too are there, because of we have to know about the what is the ladle in the steel making industry. A ladle in a steel plant is a bucket shaped container used to transport and pour molten metal. That means whatever the molten metal you are preparing, we cannot store in some what is called areas and all. Immediately we have to pour in the cast or moldings. But the ladle will help us at the bucket shaped. It will contain, it will store up to some time before the pouring of the molten melt. The ladle is called a container. Ladles are used in many industries, including iron, steel, cement, non-ferrous metals, and glasses. If you see this, the cement, where we can ready mix concrete is there. Now the cylindrical trucks are coming now. Recently, you've seen also ready mix concrete, where the people are not having any the concrete making machines and concrete making facilities are there. They'll purchase the directly ready mix concrete by the trucks, and they will take the ready mix concrete and floor will be prepared also. That is called the ready mix concrete is also there. Like that, the iron and steel industries, the molten melt will be stored and sending to the mold making people or mold making industries also nowadays. That is called, some figures also there in the coming to the in coming slides also. The ladles means some bucket shaped storing the molten metal with a high temperature needles and all, without having any solidification taking place. All this. Our ladles are used in steel plates to transfer molten iron from torpedo ladle cars and iron mixers to the basic oxygen furnace. Where the oxygen furnace are there, they're not having any blast furnace at all. All this, some of the people are not having the financial visible to the blast furnace. They have only the either a basic oxygen furnaces or in the electric furnace. They will purchase the ladle with molten metal, that adding in the basic furnace, oxygen furnace, or in the electric arc furnace also. They directly purchasing without having any facilities in their industry. To refine a molten iron by decreasing the sulfur content, because the molten iron will be prepared by decreasing the sulfur content. If sulfur content is more, means again the roasting content will be definitely taking place by sending the oxygen, we prepare removing the sulfur as a sulfur dioxide also. That's why to refine the molten iron by decreasing the sulfur content also. Where the ladle will also transfer, it is not sometimes if you use the molten metal in the ladle transfer from one place to another place, by that time the sulfur content is also will be less. Why? Because in the atmospheric air, oxygen will be taken care and sulfur dioxide will be removed in the container itself. But it is not going to the environment. It will be suppressed in the tank itself. To hold and transport liquid steel. Important word. This is clearly understand. To hold and transport liquid steel. That means molten form. To perform secondary metallurgical work, where the people are not having the primary steel making and iron making metal. That's why they're having only secondary steel making. They have to purchase the, uh, like for example, molten liquid steel, like the ready make mixers in the cement industries. They will take buildings and all. ready mix, they're also purchased. They're also purchased from the industries. They perform the secondary metallurgical work such as deslagging, reslagging, and the electrical heating, chemical heating, and power injections also will be taken care of. So features, what are the importance here? Ladles are made of heavy steel plates. Ladles are preheated to avoid thermal. The other material of construction should be taken care of to hold the and transport the liquid steel. This is all we will know out also. So in such a way, the material shall be prepared in such a way. Okay. Coming to this, ladles are made. This other uses of the ladle here is pouring the metal, pouring the molten metals into the casting molds. That is also important. Where the step 1, step 2 is not there, they will take the directly to the castings only, the molds. They're purchasing the molten steel or liquid steel also. Transferring the metals from one place to another place, ensuring safety of molten materials. These are the some important figures is there. This is the bucket shaped where it will store. After storing, it becomes like this. The material of construction is prepared in such a way. When it is poured in the casting, it will desired shape will be coming. And another what is called, these are the one of the ladder picture. The ladder stored this liquid steel and pouring into the another ladle. And these are the what is called ladders are there, where in the steel industries, there are standby ladders also there, where the liquid steel will be stored and sending to the immediate organization and all. Therefore, it will be definitely helpful for the industries, those who are not having any facilities in the steel making process and all. See, one of the standbys are there where they can steal, and by truck or by taking the cranes within the organizations also they can shape the what is called the molds in the liquid molten form also. These are the one of the ladders I want to inform. That is why I given it here is. And third one is the step secondary making. Like this ladle is there, it is pouring on the cast model. The molds also there like this. That's why pouring slag, the impurities that floats on the top of the top during the melting process into receptacle. In top, the impurities will be removed with a slag. With a slag removal of pad is there, that will be removed like the layer in the milk, it will be removed like this. Now the second one is, the fourth one is casting. That means pouring the metal into the casting. Preparation of the castle is important. During the fourth step, the steel manufacturing molten iron is cast into molds for cooling. This process starts to set the shape of the steel and causes a thin, hard shell to form. The stands of the shell are malleable, that means easily can be bendable, easily can be stretchable, easily can be cuttable, cutting, easily can be bent. Like this, malleable means it is almost all can be taken care by the machine itself. Is making rolls, roll making, or hot roll making, or cold roll making. Tomorrow it will be coming in the classes. The malleable means it can be bent. It can be used to using some metals, using some tools. It can be bent also. Whereas the strong iron will not be bent, but the shells which you prepare from the molten steel, like cast iron, it will malleable means it can be shaped into whatever you are desired and can be worked into the desired shape of flat sheets, beams, wires, and three strips. Because of the malleable nature is there, we can repair all these things like flat sheets, beams, wires, and things. Finally, the before six, the primary forming continues the shaping of the process from the casting, whatever the coming is, you have to shaping or finishing will be taken care of. Hot roller is used to fine tune of casting. The steel is molded into desired shape and the surface finish. Some examples include bloom, billet, and slab also. Because in the hot itself, then only the metal will become a very easy to bendable or very easy to make the what is called shape, whatever you want, you can pay. In the primary shape, we have to shape the depends upon the requirements of the either sheet or pipes or beams or wires or strips. Like this, we have to see in the what is called the primary forming. The primary forming, you have to see how it is forming. The cutting billets to length using the torches on the continuous caster, because there is channels is there, some standard heights are there. That's why they are preparing like this primary. The boom, bloom, billets, slabs and all will be taken care of like this. This is one of the primary forming where cutting will be taken. Final what is called shapes will be coming in the form of beams or channels also. Coming to the last one is secondary step is secondary forming area. The final step of the steel manufacturing process, it creates the final shape and the properties of the steel. Secondary forming is accomplished with the different methods such as shaping, that means cold rolling methods, machine drilling, joining, that means welding, coating, that means coating means when the sense of what is not painting. It's due to the during the electrolysis process, we have to protect the metal from the rust and uh, uh, the corrosion also. Over and above the surface of the coating will be thin film coating will be taken place during the electrolysis process. Heat treatment is also taken place because we want the different shapes of while heating only different shape. Example, the railway tracks we prepare different shape we want. Beams we want different shape. Channels we want different shape, different thickness. Like this, we have to shape the secondary forming also. And the heat treatment and surface treatment also is necessary because projections will not be there while finishing the product. At the completion of the step 6, the steel is fully shaped, formed, and ready for use and processing in various applications. Like, for example, we see the steel products also will be coming in the coming slides. It will know the what is the finishing step is involved is also known better while coming in the coming slides of the various steel plant products also. Coming to this steel plant products, you can say, coming to the steel plants produces varieties of products including structural sections, plates, sheets, pipes, and more. One is structural sections, heavy plates, strips, wire rods, railway rails, bars, pipes, wheels and axles, stainless steel products, and the electrical steels also. These are the products where we are manufacturing the steel plants. Structural steels means large sections used in construction like beams, channels, rods, like this pipes and all these things. Heavy plates also, thick plates used in the construction where the we can say the river jetties or in the we can say the sea jetties and all these things or in the what is called the bank of the river. You can see the heavy plates are necessary. At the time we have to use the thick plates also for the construction of with a different purpose. Strips, flattened steel products, and wire rods used in variety of applications. Railway rails used in railway tracks and all these things. Bars, long products, and used in construction. And the pipes used in construction and other applications like water, effluent treatment plant like this, sewage treatment plant like this. Wheels and axles used in vehicles, like for example, over and above the tires will be taken, the vehicles, lorry vehicles, axles will be there. That is used in the with these steel plants only. Stainless steel products from this iron making steel plant. We can prepare the stainless steel products also by taking the raw iron by adding the more various materials depending upon the SS properties, SS specifications like SS304, SS316L or 316 like this. The electrical steels used in electrical applications, most one of the byproducts where we are solding to the other industries also for example, if you take the slag, which is coming in the steel plant, is a after melting the molten form out, the over and surface of the molten form, the one's layer will be coming, that is slag. It easily lose in structure. It will be used in cement manufacturing also. It is used as a binding materials also in the cement industry. Slag is because some iron content is there, some residues are there where the binding materials will be taken care of in the cement industries also. Setting process will also improve during the cement making industries also, because the setting time is definitely more. That means setting time is less in the cement. Definitely it will be grade is very important, because the setting time is more. The cement prepared in the concrete, it will take a long time to dry up. The setting time in the cement is always less, where the grade is more. The process gases also will be byproduct. We have to tap that gases and see that any heat recovery is possible by tapping this for process gases. And again, that heat recovery help to normal water to heat the water also, or the heat recovery can be used for the various purpose also from the process gases, because all the process gases in the steel plant, always the temperature is more. Therefore, definitely the heat will be recovered from the hot process gas also. CA, Confederation of Indian Industries, are working in these various projects, and they are succeeded also. Even they are taking the flash papers from the industries also. The heat recovery also taken place by the CIA industries. That means Confederation of Indian Industries projects. Dust and sludges, like for example, slurries, slurry, where the dust will be used in the various processes like the scrap iron or the cement industries can be used, or we can use the dust in the filling of the level areas in the grounds also. You can use this word. The chemicals such as ammonia, sulfur, and naphtha. These are the some of the important products. Very rarely it is coming, and also less amount of the, or we can say traces are coming, because of the preparation of the ore into iron, or iron into stainless steel. There are various methods are there. Like for example, iron ore to iron, different additives are there. We have to see that the impurities can be removed by removing process. There are a lot of things to be released from the ore itself. Even though they are traces, but they are byproducts, we can say. They can be large amount of the ammonia is there. Definitely it will be recovered and used in the foreign, the France industries also for cooling purpose in the refrigeration system. The sulfur will also helpful, and naphtha is also released in the chemicals in the steel plant. We have to see that though they are traces, though they are very less amount, but we have to tap that chemicals without having any hindering to the process, or hindering to the environment, or hindering to the unsafe to the workforce. We have to see that these are the sensitive areas to take care of, or to trap these chemical gases and all. These three is okay, nothing to worry. In non-toxic, all these things. Whereas these are very dangerous, ammonia and sulfur and naphtha, very dangerous chemicals, hazardous chemicals also. You have to be carefully handled. If though they are also uh, trace amount are there. Coming to the safety prevention methods in steel plant industries include the comprehensive safety programs we need to conduct, regular risk assessment, because various the steps are there in the primary steps, secondary steps, steel making, And there are 6 steps of various plants will be already discussed in the previous slides. In these steps, there are a lot of hazards will be exposed, potential hazards are there. Unless otherwise, we have to, each hazard will be clearly identified in each process, and against each hazard, how many risks are there, with that risk can be controlled or not. If not controlled, we have to see that existing controls cannot adopted to take care of that risk. We have to see that proposed controls to be adopted to see that what is called that hazards will be risk will be reduced. Consequences of during the risks is also very more. That type of risk will be addressed immediately with the proposed controls if the existing controls are not sufficient. Proper personal protective equipment is not supposed to be done. You all aware of this, but because of the employees having the different attitudes, having the shortcut methods, we have to see that that should be avoided by the safety manager itself. And thorough machine maintenance, you have to see that unless otherwise the maintenance is not proper, it is not encourage you to do the work because all the areas are sensitive. They are the steel plants are very sensitive areas in the proposed to the process risk as well as the hazards. Many are there. That's why you have to see that the thorough maintenance will be there and not to invite the immediate or the invite the unnecessary breakdowns or and shutdowns. Not only the financial impacts, but also the employee workforce time waste, as well as the losses going to the taken place by the company. Implementing the emergency response protocols, because as per the emergency response procedure of the industry, we have to implementing the definitely the protocols, which is to who is to be informed, who is to be taken care of, where are the some hierarchy is there in the organization side. You have to see that that should be protocols to be maintained as per the any incident or accident occurs in the industry. Emergency response training response procedure also to be aware of all the employees also to whom they have to inform if any consequences or any uh, uh, un- uh, unexpected things are occurring in the process itself. Strict adherence to safety regulations. Yes, already told yesterday, some iron and steel and industry regulations are there. We have to strictly adherence to the safety regulation. At least the management staff, not by the employees. The management staff should know about the safety regulations very strictly. Otherwise, they cannot direct to the employees to follow the safety regulations and all these things. Hazard identification is a part of risk assessment, of course. The identification is very important, and training programs for workers, noise reduction measures, and the controlling exposure to extreme heat and harmful chemicals. A very important point. Hazard identification, okay. Training programs for what? For workers. In view of noise reduction measures, the controlling exposure to extreme heat and the harmful chemicals. They have to exposure to be taken care of, how they can behave in the process of the extreme heat, because the body takes the heat and becomes dehydrated. They have to advise the people take lemon water more or take water more. Like this, we have to expose of the workers in the noise reduction measures as well as the controlling of exposure actions to heat, but also the harmful chemicals should not be exposed by the employee. The tapping of the chemicals are, as we discussed here, is the tapping is very important, and that means removal is much difficult, but tapping means to extract by ducting, by removing, by what is called diverting the route, not to the work environment, is very important control during the risk assessment and hazard identification. All aimed at minimizing risk associated with heavy machinery, high temperatures, and hazardous materials prevalent steel production. Very important word is all should be employed. All means all employees should be aimed, including the top management as well as the top to bottom, all aimed at minimizing the risk associated with heavy mission, because the steel plants itself is the heavy machinery, high temperatures, hazardous materials prevalent in the that means existing in the steel production also. That's why you have to be very important method in the safety prevention methods. What are the key aspects we can say? The steel, the personal protective equipment known by every man who is working in the steel plant, but however, you have to revise the safety glasses, goggles, face shields, protect the eyes from flying debris. That means flying waste, where the finest particles will be there during the various process of the steel plants. Heat-resistant gloves to prevent the burns. It's compulsory. Though they are feeling inconvenience to wear and operate with the hands and all with the gloves, but they have to not to take the shortcut even in a small percentage also. Steel-toed boots to protect the feet from heavy object, because the taking of the channels, beams, rods with the cranes and all to load it or unloading, it's very hitting the iron to your legs also, foots. That's why the steel-toed boot, because in the front portion should be steel-toed boots will be there. There are many safety shoes are there, but steel-toed boots are used in the steel plants only, because we are handled with the highly heavy objectives like steel and iron also. Hearing protection to mitigate the excessive noise, because hearing protection, always the earmuffs will be used, but earmuffs will not be taken care of by the employees. They are feeling some inconvenience by earmuffs. Earplugs, they can be used. First of all, as a management staff, as a safety technocrat, we have to see that how best we can reduce the noise. We have to see if any possibility is there, shock absorbers or barriers to be taken care of to reach the less noise to the employees or employee workforce where they are working nearby. Nearby noise levels are more. Respiratory protection where necessary, depending on air quality, because ambient air quality, if you see that, you have to see that any respiratory problem is there, immediately we have to see that protection will be taken care of. The breathing problem is there, immediately we have to see that the respiratory protection, we have to see that we have to use, like for example, various respiratory protection methods are there in the while handling the gas cylinders, we have to taken care of. Any air quality having the different diagnosation is there, immediately respiratory protection will be used by the employees who are working nearby. Mission safety, work area safety, environmental controls, training and confidential, that means training and education, the other identification, risk assessment, and the emergency response is very important areas in the key aspects of the safety preventions, apart from the person protective equipment. Mission safety. The guarding and moving parts machinery prevent the entanglement. Emergency stop buttons really accessible. Regular inspection and maintenance of machinery. Lockout and tagout procedures for maintenance activities. These are the things will be taken care of. The guarding of all the movable parts like pinch parts, we can say, where the moving parts in the machinery is there, that should be guarded definitely. Emergency stop very near to the employees and accessible to take like a fire extinguisher access, and it should not be aggressive, it should not be narrow to reach that place also. Emergency stop buttons operate to operate wherever the necessary. Regular inspections and maintenance of machinery, as I told you, immediate breakdowns or sudden breakdowns will not be experienced in the industries. Lockout, tagout, LOTO procedures should be involved in the maintenance activities during the shutdowns, during the breakdown, during the maintenance activities. LOTO procedures should be definitely adopted. Work area safety is very important areas. Proper lighting to enhance the visibility. Not only ventilation, but lighting is also in B shift and C shift. Lighting is very, very important because of the various visibilities of the molten forms and all things. Where in the nights they have to wear the goggles and operate and gloves to operate. They have to see the proper lighting is necessary to best way to work by the workforce. Clear signage indicates hazard safety instruction. Wherever the signages are there, safety signage should be displayed before the employees at the workplace itself. Designated walkways, traffic patterns very important because a lot of what is called movement are there in the as well as the trucks as well as the cranes by moving from heavy metals from one place loading the trucks like this it will be designated markedly pathways, pedestrians ways and the vehicles ways like this to be taken care of perfectly. Housekeeping